Petr Yan and Deiveson Figueiredo square off this weekend in the main event of UFC Macau, which is the first time that they have been to China in quite some time. And this is a banger main event. The winner of this main event might leapfrog Umar Nurmagomedov for a title shot against Merab Dvalishvili. Now, Deiveson Figueiredo and Petr Yan are both former champions. This is a super, super high-level fight with two big names on it for their weight classes that are in a fight night main event. I'm happy that the UFC is starting to book fight night main events with big names in front of crowds. We got Buckley and Covington coming up. That's just to name one. You know, Umar and Corey Sandhagen. The Saudi Arabia card was originally supposed to be Hamzat and Rob Whittaker. I'm glad that they're starting to book big names as fight night main events instead of just booking these really bad fight night cards and then stacking the pay-per-views. I like to see it more spread out a little bit so we have good fights more often. Deiveson Figueiredo is ranked 5th at bantamweight, and since moving up to bantamweight, he's 3-0. He lost in the last fight of the quadrilogy with Brandon Moreno. He lost by TKOs. Actually, he got an eye injury that stopped the fight, but he's 24-3-1. He's on a 3-fight win streak. He beat Rob Font and Marlon Vera by decision, and then he beat Cody Garbrandt by rear naked choke at UFC 300. He's been on a tear recently, whereas Petr Yan has lost 3 of his last 4. He lost to Aljamain Sterling by split decision in a title fight, and then he lost by split decision again against Sean O'Malley. And now both of those were very close fights. Those were controversial in some people's eyes that he lost those. I thought he lost them both, but split decisions nonetheless. And then he just gets absolutely you can't even say mauled like Joe Rogan would say, but Merab Dvalishvili shot 50 takedowns on him. Basically, that's what happened. Failed like 90% of them, and that was enough for him to win the fight. So Petr Yan lost a decision there. Merab went on to become champ. Petr Yan's most recent fight is at UFC 299 against Song Yadong. He looked really good in that fight. Hurt his knee, so he's been out since March, but now here we are nearing the end of November, and Petr Yan has already made a return just about like 8 months after tearing his ACL, which is pretty crazy. Former champion, however, has lost 3 of his last 4, going up against former champion from a lower weight class on a 3-fight win streak. Petr Yan's one of my favorite fighters. I want him to win this fight. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick him in this fight, though, because he's so technical and quick on the feet, but he doesn't have much knockout power. Figueiredo does have a lot of knockout power, and he's very aggressive, but Petr Yan's never been KO'd or TKO'd. He's actually never even been finished. He's lost 4 decisions and 1 DQ to Aljo. And he's going up against somebody that has a lot of finishes. 24 wins, 18 of them have come by finish, and he's only been finished twice in his career. And it was submission to Brandon Moreno, and then it was injury/TKO to Brandon Moreno. So he's never been knocked out either. You have 2 guys that have never been knocked out. One's never been finished, and the other one's only been finished once if you don't count an injury TKO. So let's look into this a little bit because I am still not sure who I'm going to pick as I'm recording this video. Reach about the same, leg reach about the same. Petr Yan slightly heavier in the cage. Height, my gut tells me Figueiredo. But I know I just made this mistake with Mike Tyson, but I'm going to pick with the guy I like more this time because I can see a path to victory for Petr Yan. I can see Petr Yan, who's somebody that starts very slow, early rounds, looking like this is going to, Figueiredo's coming out hot. He won the first 2 rounds, or maybe for sure won the first. Maybe a couple of tricky spots for Petr Yan. And then Petr Yan starts to pick up the pace a little bit after he's gotten his first and second round reads. Figueiredo maybe starts to gas a little bit. I am going to pick Petr Yan by 48-47 decision. I think first 2 rounds will go to Figueiredo, but in the middle of that second round, Figueiredo is going to start to fade. He's going to do enough to win the second round, but start to fade in where Petr Yan's going to build momentum going into round 3, and then he's going to snag 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, I think it's going to be mostly a striking match. I think you're going to have a little bit of Figueiredo trying to wrestle in the first 2 rounds, and then after that, Petr Yan being able to defend the takedown and get back to space and do what he wants with the distance. He did just fight Song Yadong, who has a lot of power in his hands. I'm not going to say he's more dangerous than Figueiredo, maybe just as dangerous as Figueiredo. And he's a very stocky, big bantamweight, whereas Figueiredo is not big for bantamweight. He was a flyweight before this. He was a huge flyweight, but he's about average sized for bantamweight, maybe even slightly undersized. Yeah, I'm going with Petr Yan by 48-47 decision after a tricky first 2 rounds. And maybe jumping over Umar for a title shot. If not, I think he gets the winner. So let me know your thoughts down below. If you're watching this video when I put it out on Thursday, I just want to put out a reminder that I'm going to be hosting the weigh-in show and pre-fight press conference for a regional kickboxing promotion, Fighters Rep 27. I'm going to be doing the pre-show and the weigh-in show, the pre-fight press conference tomorrow. It'll start on the Fighters Rep YouTube channel. I already posted about it on my community tab. It'll be on the Fighters Rep YouTube channel at 7 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, which is Friday, November 22nd. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be doing some of the post-fight interviews and things like that on the event. That is behind a paywall, but also on the Fighters Rep YouTube channel. So go check that out. I already have a post in my community tab. You can also see a bunch of my collab stuff with them on my Instagram. Go check it out. And thanks for watching. I'm Wyatt. This is Fight Society. Thanks for watching this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. It really helps me out a lot. If you want access to bonus content, become a channel member today by clicking the join button on our channel homepage or the link down below this video. If you're interested in some non-MMA content from me, go check out my podcast, What's Up Bro, with Wyatt and Bo, in the link down below. Go watch this suggested video, and I'll see you next time.